Hello and welcome to a second webcast on IT IS Web with Microsoft Dynamics AX. This time I want to show you a little more on how to configure the ERP connector to get the content you want to be displayed in the web shop. As you might know already, we have the tool IT IS ERP connector service that is basically doing the communication between the .NET Nuke frontend, which is the portal that is hosting the web shop, and the ERP system, which is in this case Microsoft Dynamics AX. And by configuration we can tell the service what content should be displayed in the front end. And for that purpose we have this tool here, which is the IT IS ERP connector configuration tool. And you can see we have a couple of menu entries here: user management, request type, general setup, IT IS active, and IT IS web. For today we only will focus on IT IS user management and request types. Right now I'm in the user management here, and you can see we have 3 items up here. It's users, roles, and groups. The users basically are the web shop users, and you can see here we have the anonymous user, and that means that for every anonymous user in the front end, which means if the user is not logged into the web shop already, that will be running with this user. Every registered and logged in user will be assigned to his own unique user here. In our case we only got 4 unique users right here, but in the live environment of course that would be much more. With the users you can see on that screen which AX contact and which AX business relation is associated with that very user. These users basically can be grouped into several groups. In our case we only have 2 up here, and that's the anonymous tag, which is the group for all the anonymous users in our case, or in most cases that will only be this one anonymous user. And we also have the tag shop group, and that has all the registered users combined. And you can see down here the tag shop, the users that are assigned to a group are then assigned to a role through that group. That means you can assign users either directly to a role, or you can assign users to certain groups and then assign the whole group to a role. The role in that case is, while the groups is more a grouping of users, the roles is a grouping of request types, and I'll come to that in a minute. Request types basically decide which data from the ERP system should be shown in which way. And here we have 3 roles. The salesman you can ignore for now. We also have the anonymous role here, and we have the registered role, that's the tag. And these roles have assigned certain request types, and request types are, as I said, just a description what content should be displayed in which way. And you can see for the anonymous user we have these request types assigned. For the registered user, which is the tag, which will be in the tag role, we have a little more request types assigned. That's due to the fact that all the basket handling is only for the registered user, because in that scenario that we have here in the demo image, a not registered user or not logged in user cannot finish his basket off. Yeah, you can see here that for the registered users, or for the roles for the registered users, there are lots of request types like item card special, for example. That's also for the anonymous users. Here we also got item card special, and for that we have the request types here. We have request type templates, and that means you don't have to really configure each request type from scratch for each role. You just once create a template, and then you can very conveniently just copy this request type templates to the according roles, and then you just do the update for the certain roles. For example, on that item card special, which is basically this request type down here, that would be an item card special request type. We have in total 6 of them, I think. No, 8. 8 of them on that page. For a registered user, that might see the price. Anonymous user might not see the price or something like that. So what you could do is you create a request type template without the price being shown, and then you just copy that to the anonymous user, anonymous role and the registered role, and then you just add the field for the price in the registered role request type. Right. Right now, I just want to show you how that request type configuration works. So let's go to one request type. Let's go to the customer card on the registered users. And here you can see we have some information. We have the request type caption or description. We can decide whether the request type should be edit table or not. And then here we have the request type types. We have 3 of them in total. That's list, detail, and headline. The detail you've seen already. That here was a detail that is pretty much showing only one record of the ERP system. While the list is showing a list of records of the on the ERP system. For example, we have that in the catalog navigation. When you navigate to a category where items are associated with, then you see a list of the items that are associated here, in that case with the home cinema category. And that will show you that list of items in the list view. You can also decide here the tables. For the tables, that will basically just tell which table in Microsoft Dynamics AX is associated with this request type, or otherwise said, from which table should we retrieve information to be displayed in the front end. For that for the customer card, we decided to go on table 520, which is the contact person table. I can show you that on AX2. Tables. Let's go contact table, which would be contact person, which would be this table, and you can see that's the table 520. You can easily pick that from this here. You just say which table you would like, and then you can also say can also configure things like sort orders, or for a list request type, it would be important to see to define how many records should be shown on one page. So if you have like 500 records, that would be a performance bottleneck if we would want to display 500 records at the same time. So you can say I only want to display 10, and then we have some navigation implemented automatically that will allow you to switch between those 500 records. Right, then we go for the tabs. In this case we have two tabs. We have the communication and the general tab. And the tabs are just splitting that information on 2 different tabs. In our case here we have the general tab that is showing the address information, and we have the communication tab that is showing the communication information for that certain contact here. Right. And from these tabs, let's go on the general, we go down to the field level, and here we define what fields from that table 520, contact person in our case, should be displayed. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields defined here, but when we look in the front end, we only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. That means that we have also the possibility to send some data to the front end, which doesn't have to be shown on the screen. Like the record ID, we use the record ID to identify what record is currently displayed, and you can set that to hidden. So the information will be in the front end, but it will be not shown on the shop. And here you see the other option here is editable, and we also have indirect editable, that's for lookups, and visible, that is basically not non-editable content. We also have a special case up here, that's the relational field, where you can see the check mark. I will not go too deep into that, but that means that this field value is calculated in Microsoft Dynamics AX. So we have programmatically say that this value has to be calculated with a certain piece of code. It's pretty easy to implement, but that would lead to too far and is out of scope for this web service here. So we see we have name, address, street, city, zip code. The address here is hidden, for example. Also don't want to show that, as we have the address, and the city, and the zip code already in a separated way displayed here. So let's just plain add another field to it. How do we do that? We could just say add a new line here, and then we select what kind of field do we want to display. Yeah, let's go with the title. We want to see if that guy has some title to it, so we just add that, and then we have to provide a caption for that, and we just go like title. We already got a title caption here. Okay, you see, now we have the field caption title. That could also be multi-language. In our case, it's all English, but you could provide here the captions for other languages too. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, right now it's for English US, but you could add other languages as well. Okay, so now we have introduced that new field title, and it has the length of 30. It is editable. Let's make it just visible. And alignment, and the data type is string. There are some more options, but that's also out of scope here for that brief insight into the configuration. Let's see how that looks in the front end then. Refresh the page. Okay, the title column is here. You see there's no text box because we only made that visible, but it looks like Mike B doesn't have any title. Let's check that out. That should be with the contacts. And let's see if we can find a guy. Here he is. Yeah, he actually doesn't have any title, so we just give him a title. What is that guy? Oh yeah, he's CEO, of course. Close that. And then refresh the page. Okay, there he is, CEO. So here you can see that this data is not somewhere stored in the front end. Also, it's coming live and direct out of the ERP connectors, out of the ERP system. That means any changes that you do on the ERP system here, that will automatically reflect in the web shop. That is not only for the contact data, it's basically for any data. If the prices change, you don't have to manually update these prices into the front-end system. They will be automatically fetched from the IT IS ERP connector and displayed in the correct way in the front end. Same thing for availability, for example, or if you want to lock some customers, that will automatically be retrieved by the ERP connector. So that's it, I guess, for showing you some short example on how to configure a request type. I'll be glad to create some more webcasts and go more into detail, but for today that should be it. Thank you for your attention, and we see each other next time. Bye.